Good morning. 25 to 8. I'm Simon Morykin. It's going to be a cloudy Sunday, but quite warm actually, 17 degrees. Looks like the high will be today. Now, faith groups have had to find different ways to celebrate religious festivals as we go through lockdown still. Buddhists recently celebrated Wesak, or Buddha Day, the most important of the Buddhist festivals. But with the Sheffield Buddhist Centre closed due to coronavirus and Buddhists being unable to come together as they normally would, how different was Wesak this year? Well, some of the celebrations took place online, including this video asking people what the Buddha means to them.
So the Buddha brings meaning into my life. It's through the Buddha there's an example of what's possible for a human being to become. And there's these lines from the Threefold Puja: what the Buddha overcame, we too can overcome. What the Buddha achieved, we too can achieve. So for me, this brings the meaning to my whole life. My entire life becomes clearer. The purpose of my life is clear. This is possible for me too. I can grow in compassion, in wisdom, in love. So the Buddha represents the possibility of human growth right up to liberation and enlightenment.
To me, the Buddha represents my unlimited capacity to grow and to love more and to be more kind to all beings.
I see the Buddha as the ideal state of the enlightened mind. And for me, I see the Buddha not just as the goal of my practice, but by examining where I am in relation to the Buddha, I can get a flavour for how effective my practice is and which direction I need to head in next.
Now, Bodhinaga is part of the teaching team at the Sheffield Buddhist Centre, and he joins me this morning on BBC Radio Sheffield. Bodhinaga, good morning.
Good morning, Simon. How are you?
Very well, sir. How are you?
Yeah, I'm good, thank you.
Good. Tell me about Wesak, first of all. What is the celebration all about?
So Wesak is the festival where we celebrate the Buddha's enlightenment over 2,500 years ago, but it's a very, very important event for Buddhists all throughout the world. We bring to mind the Buddha. I just reflect, as you've heard there, what that means to us now, what the Buddha's enlightenment means to us.
It's a very important time of the year for you, but I imagine it was very different for Buddhists this year.
Yes, yeah, it was, of course, yeah. We unable to meet in person, which was usually what we would do. We'd gather in very large numbers to celebrate the festival. But what we did, we managed to recreate online something. We had the atmosphere of being together. It was led by the men at the Buddhist Centre who live there, the Buddhists there. We had a choir that you heard a little bit from the women's community in Walkley, 3 ladies who sang together beautifully. And we were able to meet. There's about 95 of us who met online, and we practiced a Buddhist ritual. We reflected on the Buddha together, meditated together. It's very, very unusual to do that in the isolation of your own home, but that was it was still very, very moving, and it was lovely to hear the little extract there from the video. Just brought back memories of last weekend for me.
So how did people find it? Did you get much feedback on how they found it doing it online?
I was surprised actually how moved people were, particularly by the video and the choir and the rituals. We had emails, messages saying how moved people were, how it had helped them. I think when you're away from your community, your friends, you can feel isolated. Lots of people are going through that at the time, so just being able to connect with what's really significant for you can really help people. Really, really help and lift people. So I think it was very, very important for people to be able to mark Wesak in that way.
It's very interesting how faith groups are adapting at the moment. Now, the Sheffield Buddhist Centre, like all places of worship, currently closed, but there is still a community of Buddhists living there. Is that right?
Yes, that's right. There's 6 Buddhists living there in a residential community above the Buddhist Centre. We're very grateful to them. They're keeping the centre in good repair and maintaining the centre, but also doing a lot of facilitating of the classes which we're doing online is happening from that community. We also have a community of women who live in Walkley as well, and they're doing a lot of the teaching as well. So we're very grateful to them.
So when they live together, how does it work with social distancing? Are they classed like as a family, the household? Or?
Yeah, I guess they would be classed as a unit, a family unit. So they are contained within the building and the grounds of the centre, which for them must be, well, I know is frustrating, because they want to be meeting up with friends and the congregation, the sangha, to support people. So it'd be frustrating to be, in a way, stuck inside the building. But then there's opportunities for more meditation, more space, more contemplation, more reflection. So I guess they're trying to make the best use of the time.
Do you think that's a test for them?
Certainly, yeah. It's I say it's a test for all of us. When the things that you rely on are taken away, the usual things that you rely on for support, when they're taken away, well, then you're tested against your own resources. We can test the progress we've made on our path, our journey. So I think it's a test, and I know they found it an intense situation, and but the same as it's also an opportunity to reflect on our common humanity, because there's millions and millions and millions of people around the world in exactly the same situation at the moment. It's quite a unique time where pretty much everybody has a similar struggle, and so it's a chance to reflect on our common humanity as well, and to connect with other people.
And you're a dad. How are you managing working from home and looking after your children at the moment?
We're getting used to it. It's very, very different. I'm usually, I joke that I find the school and my most challenging part of the day, and that's like an hour, 2 hours. And now I've got my wife's a doctor, so I'm now doing kind of 10-hour shifts of childcare. So it's very, very different to what I would usually do. But I'm trying to see that as an opportunity to spend time with my children, which I wouldn't usually get to do. I'd also support my wife, who's a doctor, just to do very important work. And then I get to take part in classes in the evening. So on Tuesday night, we have our regular sangha night class. And we've been getting 95 people attending that class online, which is a big number. And I was able to lead a meditation from my attic on Tuesday, which was very, very strange, really, but it seemed to work.
Well, good on you adapting and still doing as much as you can. It sounds like you're having quite a good time with it as well. Bodhinaga, it's a real pleasure to speak to you from the Sheffield Buddhist Centre on BBC Radio Sheffield. Just shy of 7:45. We're in church from 8 o'clock this morning. It's BBC Radio Sheffield with David Guetta and Sia.